Hello and welcome to A Few Moments with the Rev. I'm Greg Johnson, and I'm very grateful that you're joining me today. During the last 16 weeks, it's hard to believe, but during the last 16 weeks, we have been involved in really two series. The first was a 10-week series, and it was entitled Recovery in Recovering. That series is available on our YouTube channel, and I'll tell you that in just a moment. And today I am concluding our 6-part series on the 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving. And both of these series are available to you, and I urge you to review them, to use them, to share them with people that you might be working with, whether professionally or in other forms of help. And you can find that on our YouTube channel, and our YouTube channel is Family Caregiving with the Rev. There are other items on there as well that I hope you'll take a look at. They may help you or help someone with whom you're working on their journey in family caregiving. Now today we are looking at the 6th and final spiritual principle of family caregiving. And this series was originally created by Friends Indeed, an incredible organization here in New York City, begun by the late actor-director Mike Nichols and Cynthia O'Neill. Cynthia Burke was one of the early founding partners as well, and she has done this series on many occasions, and I'm thrilled to be sharing it with all of you. You will also find the 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving on my Facebook page, and in order to access that, you simply need to go to Gregory Johnson, so that if you want to read, please feel free to take a look at that. Friends Indeed no longer exists as an organization, but the work continues through these wonderfully dedicated staff members who are doing so much to walk with so many people, and never have we needed people to walk one with the other more than we do right now. And particularly as the pandemics, and I'm plural on that, the pandemic of COVID-19 and racism continue in this very divisive environment. We need to be there one for the other, and we need to be united in love and in caring. Now, the 6 spiritual principles, and I'm going to just review the first 5 one by one that we've talked about. No, there's no test, so don't worry about that. Life becomes our test, and we all know that only too well. The first spiritual principle: take care of yourself. Very simply, before I can care for you, I've got to care for myself. The second: focus on care, not cure. Remember, ours is as a family caregiver. Number 3, work to be in the moment. Work to be in the moment. Number 4, express your feelings appropriately as you talk to your care recipient. Consider how you would like someone to be speaking to you. Number 5, seek to find meaning in the experience. That was our topic for last week. And today, the 6th and final principle is understand that nothing is going wrong. Now that requires us not to be so invested in a specific outcome. And this is often something that I talk about with people with prayer. They say, oh, dear God, do this and do that, please. And if you need help, here's my suggestion to work it out. That's not what it's about. Don't be so invested in the outcome that reality is totally lost. Let's hear what Friends Indeed has to say on this. Understand that nothing is going wrong. Given our culture, this is the toughest principle to understand. It's easy to get caught in if only she would have sooner, or the doctor should have, or why didn't he? These are very human reactions to frustrating and sad circumstances. Spiritually speaking, everything is unfolding exactly as it must at all times. Let me say that again. Spiritually speaking, everything is unfolding exactly as it must at all times. We don't know how the story is supposed to go. That's such an important statement. We don't know how the story is supposed to go. But we reduce suffering all around if we can be with what is without judgment. There is real power in not having to fix or change anything. And what does that mean? That's the word acceptance. Acceptance. Accepting things just as they are. And that always leads, particularly in the world of family caregiving, to a confrontation with something that we as Americans are terrible about talking, and that is death and dying. The finitude of this, the human life. These 6 spiritual principles have not only been guides, I believe, for helping us deal with our care recipient, but I believe the gift of family caregiving is it makes us ever more aware of the great phrase from Teilhard de Chardin. We are not human beings trying to have a spiritual experience. No, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having come from and returning to. The soul comes into the body. The body is the home for that soul. And the soul work that needs to be done. And only the divine and the soul knows. It is our journey to learn what our journey is. And then at some point, the body begins to fall apart. But the soul goes on. In whatever theological context that is for you to learn. But the gift of family caregiving reminds us that we have come from and we return to. But within each and every one of us is that piece of the divine that created us. That piece of the divine that is there to walk with us. And that same divinity within me is within each and every one of our brothers and sisters. It's in everything within the world. And that is the gift. We are blessed to be family caregivers. We are blessed to know and to celebrate Golden Rule living. And as we care, we learn. We learn about what we would like done for us in our own lives. But even more importantly, we come to understand that despite whatever our scenario might be, whatever we think our script might be, we don't really know what the journey is, except one step at a time. But with that journey, we are not alone. May God bless you. May this experience together on these 6 spiritual steps have helped you in your present caregiving duties and in your own life. I thank you so much for having been with me, and now I'm going to be taking a month's leave from A Few Moments with the Rev. I'm in the process of working on a new series entitled The Alphabet of Family Caregiving. We'll have more to say about that later. But in the meantime, on Facebook, it's Gregory Johnson. The YouTube channel is Family Caregiving with the Rev. And if you wish to be in contact with me, the easiest and most effective email to use is gregjohnson@gjp-international.com. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. God bless, and remember, onward in love and caring. God bless. I'll see you real soon.